Let's kick things off with a superb little spy simulator. I expect you to die. If you're anything like me, you probably fancy yourself as a secret agent. Like me, you're probably inhumanly intelligent, impossibly suave, and irresistible to the opposite sex. It's a curse, to be honest. Well, despite ticking all the boxes, being a spy takes like qualifications or whatever, but not in this game. No, you can skip all that red tape rubbish and live out your fantasies of being a brainy, puzzle-solving, death-defying, sexy action genius. And it feels great. To boil it down, it's basically just an escape room, but the extra added spy-flavoured sauce it's covered in really helps it stand out in the crowd. It's a similar premise that should be familiar to everyone, with just enough whimsy to give it its own sense of individuality. Oh, and the sequel has Will Wheaton in it. I don't know your thoughts on him. If you like him, he's there, and that should be fun, right? Am I a bird? Am I a plane? No, I'm the first one. I'm a bird, and I'm playing Eagle Flight. The year is sometime in the future. All the Parisian humans are dead, and I'm not sure what killed them, probably global warming, but their home has become your playground. You'll soar over the Eiffel Tower, glide over the Notre Dame Cathedral, and occasionally face off against an eagle's many mortal enemies, be they falcons, crows, bats, vultures. Who knew that eagles were so unpopular? The game's shining mode, though, is its multiplayer. You and your mates will face off against other feathery foes in a game of capture the flag, except the flag is a rabbit carcass? Ugh, gross. It's a fun game, and a good way to immerse yourself in the whim and wonder of VR. Give it a try. Unless you don't like flying, heights, or birds, in which case, don't. If you like to combine the grace and flexibility of dancing with indiscriminate slaughter, might I suggest that you try Pistol Whip? So, there's a game I'm going to talk about in a bit that everyone talks about with VR. I won't say the name, but it's the one with the lightsabers. Yeah, you know the one I mean. This is like that, but with guns. Although, this isn't some cheap imitation. This is very much its own thing, and it's refined itself into a very competent and very enjoyable title. If you ever wondered what it would be like to be John Wick in a choreographed shootout, or just want to feel fabulous as you rack up a body count, this is the game. It's fun, fast, fluid, and simple enough for anyone to pick up and play. Take a look at the cutest little protagonist you'll see today. Look how big his ears are. Look at his little sword on his backpack. Look at that adorable little neckerchief. So this little bundle of fuzz is Quill, the star of Moss, a game that packs a lot into a neat little package. It's got action, adventure, platforming, puzzles, and what's that, you ask? Does it have teeny tiny little clothes? I've already established that yes it does. Listen! The game is undeniably charming, and if you like to put on a headset to escape the boring nonsense of your everyday life, this is a lovely little place to run off to. It's just so pleasant. Unlike the various shooting galleries and rhythm games you'll find all over the VR store, Moss puts a new take on a style and genre that'll be at home to many gamers. It's the best of both worlds. And again, teeny tiny little backpack. How could you resist? For those of you that like something less on the teeny tiny backpack side and more on the more violent side, maybe this will pique your interest. Blade and Sorcery, all about hacking up your opponents, but also setting them on fire, blasting them off cliffs, and just generally ruining their days. The game is a perfect mix for any of you who can never pick between playing as a warrior or a mage in D&D. It combines the grace and tempered playstyle of having the arcane arts at your disposal with the simple fun of bonking someone with a heavy object. Though it's not just a quick bit of fun and move on kind of game, it has a surprising amount of depth in the fighting styles, level design, and interactions between your magic and cool hard steel. And again, it is just very, very, very violent. I can't show you how violent because this is the family-friendly show, but it is. Trust me. Things getting chopped off all over the place, limbs going this way and that, carcasses burned to a crisp. Very over the top, but also in VR, so you can see all that gore much more clearly like you're looking from your own two eyes. Hooray! Here's something for all you folks out there that have spent many a night in a basement somewhere, slaying dungeons and crawling through dragons. This is Demeo. Now to all those tabletop lovers out there, I've got a truth for you that may be hard to swallow. You're living in the past. put down your papers, pencils, and dice, and step into the future. It's glorious over here, and you are welcome. This game combines all the fun of a tabletop adventure, but it's infinitely better because it's in VR. Previously, if you wanted your character to lay waste to a poor old band of goblins, you'd have to use that thing. What's it called? Oh yeah, your imagination. It's 2023, imagination's dead. My attention span is 14 seconds. Rolling dice and writing down notes can't keep me interested anymore. But Demeo certainly can, for at least 14 seconds. They did release a non-VR version later, so you can play with your friends on PC. But you're a VR user now. What are you even doing hanging out with those losers? Finally, the video game developing wizards of the world have developed an accurate simulator for working life. I know that may sound boring, but this is an important piece of future history. Many years from now, once we're all extinct, some evolved species will look at this and see how we used to live, how we'd throw our coffee mugs at our line managers, photocopy staplers, and solve our problems through sporadic aggression. Job Simulator presents us all the challenges we face in our day-to-day lives, and gives us the means and the tools to prevail at being a human and having a job. It will give you a sense of self-accomplishment, responsibility, and I dare say you'll have that little warm feeling that only comes with living in a safe, controlled, civilized society. It's time for this one. So, you got friends coming over, you want to show off your VR rig, and you're determined to sell them on why you made such a frivolous purchase. What do you get them to play? Probably Beat Saber, right? Ugh, wow, how original. But then again, nearly 2 decades ago, we were in the same position, and our go-to was Guitar Hero. We played that then because it was fun. We play Beat Saber today for the same reason. Not to mention, it makes you feel like a space ninja, and you can pretend you're doing exercise, yes. It's the same premise. Hit the notes, avoid the not notes, find the rhythm, perfect the songs, and become the best musical Jedi the galaxy has ever known. It was one of the first calling cards for VR gaming, and whilst it's still the same basic game, it's just as fun, quirky, and entertaining to play as it was all those years ago. Simply because it's a killer premise, and it's a lot of fun to move around to the rhythm of your favourite songs. And also, just, come on, lightsabers. They're cool. Clearly cooler than guitars. Every band would be a lot better if they sacked the guitarists and hired a few Sith instead. Our number 2 spot goes to the prettiest game on the list. God, look at that, it's lovely, isn't it? This is Horizon Call of the Mountain, one of the games that's showing off the PSVR 2 in all its glory. Horizon games have always been pretty. Zero Dawn knocked my socks on and then off again. The game is stunning. It looks better than reality. This non-VR world around me right now, garbage, rubbish. I hate it, and it's nothing compared to the incredible awe and wonder of Horizon's wilds. Okay, yes, it looks great, but Guerrilla Games didn't just make a flashy tech demo. It's incredibly immersive and a blast to play. You'll fight off ruthless mechanical beasties, tame the wilderness around you with your nifty haptic feedback bow, and master your surroundings from the lowest floodplains to the tallest peaks. It's mesmerizing. Actually, if anything, it's a little bit too real. I feel a little bit sick. I don't like it anymore. And here at number 1, the incredible Half-Life Alyx. Okay, the game may leave a bit of a sour taste in some fans of the franchise. They were expecting Episode 2 Part 3, but it never happened. Then they expected Half-Life 3, which again never came. And then, out of nowhere, a new Half-Life game arrived, which wasn't any of the above, but instead a brand new VR experience. Yes, you may be a bit mad at this, and mad at Valve, but briefly, just for a second, take off your angry hat and appreciate just how spellbinding this game is. First and foremost, it looks great. And this is just you watching it on your TV, or computer, or phone, or tablet, or whatever you're watching me on right now. Imagine it in full 360-degree VR territory, and it's a million times better. The gameplay, world, and narrative are all stellar, and it's a perfect flagship title for Valve's Index set. But the Index itself, as impressive as it was, got rear-ended by supply issues shortly after its release. You know, because of all that COVID malarkey. So the sad thing is, this wonderful, impressive piece of technical and design wizardry didn't have the impact that it maybe should have, because no one could play it properly, and then we all forgot about it and moved on to the next big thing. God, we're a fickle sort, aren't we? And there we go, my top picks for VR games. If you're an enthusiast looking for your next game, I hope you can find it here. And if you don't care about VR in the slightest, well done for sitting through all that. Cheers, really. I admire your perseverance. It's a rare trait these days. That's all from me today, so until next time friends, adios!